here's the first shed of the year. Little guy, maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years. Not too big. Already got chew marks on the antler. It's the last day of January, but that's the first one. Just on one of my hay fields. Had to almost get right on top of it to see it. It's a sunny day. Somebody didn't do a very good job of shed hunting last year. I got number 2 on the day. It's an old one though. I'm just gonna leave it out here. I always like those ones you can get from the 4-wheeler. Take that down. Saw this from afar. My shed's already been chewed on. Chewed the ends off already. But right underneath this pine tree. Let's see if I can find a match. This deer is 10 years old, and he dropped in December, early December, and he always drops his sheds in this little 4-acre area every year. So I passed him last year, I don't know, maybe December 13th or so. And he came by me this year and he didn't have his antlers. So I could recognize him. He's got a real pale face, but I've got at least 6 years of his sheds. That's how I know this deer and how old he is. I've got video of him going back to 2015, 2014. So this is the first. Hope I can find the match. Should be in here somewhere. Got another match to find. That's 4 from 4-wheeler. Number 6 for the year. It's February 2nd, I believe. Just changing out the camera discs and put this camera right over a open scrape. And see a lot of bucks here in this spot. It's very good. And I just saw that one of those bucks just dropped an antler. Little guy. But I am finding them this year without even looking. So pretty soon it's going to be time to get out here. I'm just waiting. I know that on my McDonough farm, most are still carrying, so this is Hancock County, but I've got some open scrapes right here underneath this Osage tree here. Well, my worst fears have been realized. This is a deer I named Brutus a while back. He is a 7.5-year-old. I have sheds of his. I've passed him with bow, and I was hoping to get him this year, and now I know where he went. My last trail cam picture of him was in October, and then he just disappeared. And We were worried about EHD. I suspect that's what it is. Found him right next to water, and I mean, it's always possible that he got hit by a car or something like that, but we have a few big deer that disappeared on us, and people have been finding EHD, and I have a feeling that's what got this one. So what a disappointment. I should have taken him when he was 5.5 years old. Hindsight 2020. Oh my goodness, what a disappointment. Yeah, that's a disappointment, really. Do everything you can to get deer to age and try to harvest them when they're at their peak. And I just got a text message almost at the same time I found Brutus there. A neighbor found the 15-pointer that I passed last year. I passed him not because he wasn't mature, but because he was all busted up. So we're starting to find them, unfortunately. Been wondering where they went. Now we know. Disappointment. Had both those deer on trail cam in October. Both of them just suddenly disappeared, and that was it. Now we know. You know, there's one right over there across that draw. It looks like a decent shed. Okay. That's a good deer. I know this deer very, very well. So we call them splits. He lost this one around the 27th. So he lost it in January, and I'm hoping that he lost the other one here somewhere in here. We're gonna find out. Passed this deer 3 times this year. I'm glad I did. Okay, I hope this is the match. I don't know. The sign is crazy up here. No, it might not be the match, because there's another one up there too. So this is display 8. Very awesome, and there's the match. How about that? Awesome, awesome. Another great up-and-comer that we've passed and are looking forward to hunt this year. Well, I gotta get a shed string out. So that's a good problem. That's a good problem. In a thicket near a cut cornfield, and all there is some pine trees, cedar trees in here that have rubs, and they bed right here, and they can go right to food. So it can be a little challenging to hunt in here because it's so thick. So I hunt the fringe, but that's good. Really nice to have that. Now if I can find splits, I'll be happier. There's another little shed right off a trail. Not a big one, but it's a shed. See where the deer go. Right on the trail. Finding deer that I'm guessing were froze to death. We had a absolutely devastating cold snap just a few weeks ago, and things have thawed out the last 2 weeks, and so I'm finding deer like this. I don't know if they froze to death because they're young. Most of them are fawns, and now they're getting ripped up by coyotes. But anyway, saw this the last time we had devastating cold, so I found 4 dead deer alone today. I just came from the creek over there. You can see the dead fawn over there, way over there. And I've got another one right here. This one's been picked over a lot more, but you can see Very small deer. And that's what I've been finding today. Like I said, I think they're thawing out and coyotes are cleaning house right now. But that's 2 fawns, very close proximity together. And I've only seen that when we had really cold temperatures, like 40 below wind chill. And these deer wouldn't have had any reserves as hot as it was this year. I can't imagine that they were putting on too much weight. It was hot all the way through November. Little guy. That's probably the smallest one I found this year. I don't know, that's 13 or 14, I can't remember. I'm up here in a little cedar thicket. And there's a shed right there. If we can get to it. I always find them up here in these cedar thickets. Sometimes find 3 or 4. Sometimes hanging up in the cedars. There's one that I'm looking for. He's one of my 12 pointers. Oh, beautiful. I passed this deer in late December or January. Beautiful deer. Great up and comer. He would have been probably a 2.5 holding this antler. So got the pond down here, not too far from that. Hopefully the match is out here in this grassy field. It is a sunny and foggy morning, and I just ran my 4-wheeler over a shed. I almost hit the tires. Glad I saw it at the last second and swerved. That's crazy. I mean, I just drove here 2 days ago. That shed was not there. They are dropping them. That's like number 15. Finding a lot from the 4-wheeler this year. All right, back to work. If I had any advice to give you on sunny days, make sure the sun's to your back and that you're wearing a light shade of sunglasses. That'll definitely help you in finding sheds. But the other thing is, if you're out early like this, everything that you've searched, it's gonna have to be searched again. So right now, I'm still in the picking my spots mode, but I'll have to grid search everything all over again here in another 3 weeks, because some are gonna be here and dropping. So anyway, we'll see how we do. Well, I'm down in the grassy bottomland. The deer always bed down here, so we stay out of it, but it's part of our sanctuary. And there's a shed right there. Another little guy. Yeah, that's number 2 on the day. I just got out here. It's gonna be hard to shed hunt this with the sun getting to be bright. All these ash trees are starting to fall and they make it impossible to walk in here. And here's the 3rd fawn of the day. So the smallest fawns, very little feet. They did not survive. A lot of them didn't survive that cold snap, and I'm sure finding them. That's 3 on the day. February 7th. I've already found a couple of these today. So this one's a buck. He died in the summer, and you can tell how decomposed he is. So it was quite a while ago. I suspect probably, an August kill or something. But little buck, EHD, who knows? There's one I missed last year. All chewed up. Not even worth picking up. Well, it's not quite mid-February, and yesterday I met DNR out in Hancock County and got Brutus tagged, extracted his big head, and I've got a spring project to clean him up. My count right now, I found a few more sheds. I'm right at about 21 sheds, 13 dead fawns, and 4 bucks dead that I suspect are EHD. And I haven't even gotten into my McDonough County farm yet. That's next. This is the time, the second leg of shed season is where you grid. You just search all the places in between bedding areas and feeding areas. I've only been really going around field edges and selectively hitting a few bedding areas, so I'm about ready to grid it now. That is, if we don't have some of these spring projects coming up. It's been warm enough. I'm starting to think about food plots and moving tree stands and even, controlled burn. So those types of things are going to get in the way of shed hunting. So we'll see how we do on the second leg of shed hunting. But if I hit it, I might get 40, 45 sheds when it's all said and done. So I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. Priorities.